Well, I do
Yeah,
appreciate you, even though you get up at this hour, getting up and hopping on a call with me. I just want to ask you a couple questions,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
and the intention is basically just to share your story about FAI, how you found out you had hip impingement, hip problems, what you
Hmm.
did about it, what your whole struggle and journey was, how you came across our stuff, and any kind of words of encouragement or advice you have for people who are somewhere along the path of their own journey out of FAI. So I guess just start
Yeah,
by introducing
absolutely.
yourself. Like, who are you? Where do you live? How did you find out you had FAI? That kind of stuff.
My name is Alexander Garber. I'm 31 years old. I live in Melbourne, Australia. Wasn't born here, so if people start asking about the accent, it's a long story. The FAI story really started a few years ago when I took an interest in parkour. And I discovered in parkour that my body just I didn't have the body awareness and I didn't have the range of motion that would enable me to progress.
Mm-hmm.
So from parkour, I tried other things. I did the yoga, the Pilates, I took adult gymnastics classes. I wanted very, very much to increase my range of motion. I knew that I could see that I did not have that range of motion. I didn't have that balance in my body. I wasn't able to get quite into those positions that would enable me to go beyond a very basic level. And I also felt heavy and a little clumsy. One of the things that you guys talk about is aiming at excellence, not mediocrity. And that's what I wanted to do. So I tried lots and lots of different things. I tried everything under the sun. But what I found was that as I tried to increase my range of motion, I kept on getting sore. It kept on hurting. So instead of it becoming easier, it was getting harder. And then by the end of 2014, um, I started getting really bad pain in my right hip. And it got to the point where simple things, stepping out to the side, even squatting, which is something that I've been working on personally for quite a while, for years. Uh, the movements within my customary range of motion were becoming painful. When I lay down, I would I'd have throbbing pain in my hip. So, went to the doctor. Doctor checked me out in a very rudimentary way, sent me off to get an X-ray. X-ray came back with a suggestion of a cam lesion on my right femoral head. Okay, so he said, look, there's this condition known as FAI. I don't quite have enough to make a diagnosis. That's what it looks like it is. I'm going to send you off for an MRI. Went for the MRI. The MRI revealed basically a lot of irritation around that point. And he said, on the basis of that it looks like FAI. I'm going to refer you to a surgeon, and you can discuss getting an operation with him to shave down the cam lesion on your femoral head. And of course, it's surgery, so it's invasive, and there's recovery time, and it's probably going to cost you something like $10,000. And I was absolutely distraught. It wasn't just the prospect of surgery and everything that goes with it. It's that I had spent so long trying to obviate precisely this outcome. It's not that I'd gone through my 20s and partied and not really paid much attention to it, and then things happen. No, I had actively been working precisely this outcome,
To improve
precisely
it.
against this outcome, to
Yeah.
improve, to ameliorate my condition, and instead here I found myself looking down the barrel of surgery. Got the SI fix, read through it carefully, printed out the accompanying sheet, PDF. I spent 3 hours the first evening foam rolling my thighs and just doing the first things that I could. And the very next day, I felt an enormous difference. A difference that I would not have expected. There was an incredible reduction in discomfort in my right hip. I've been applying the FAI fix ever since then. And nowadays, FAI is a thing of the past. Surgery it's not merely that I'm not opting for surgery. Surgery at this point is entirely unnecessary and not even on the radar.
You've tried, sounds like almost everything: acupuncture, massage, physical therapy, stretching, adult gymnastics, etc., etc. Is there anything else that you would say is specifically kind of unique about what you've been starting to do with the FAI fix that is not found in those other systems that you found helpful?
Yes. The FAI fix is a rational sequencing of exercises for the specific purpose of bringing your body back into balance. A lot of the alternative therapies, massage and acupuncture and whatnot, those things simply relax the muscles. But the FAI fix really brings everything together. It's so simple, but the genius lies therein. The FAI fix isn't merely a set of exercises that your physiotherapist would prescribe you. It's not just a set of stretches that you can download that you can cobble together from the internet. It's a total package.
The other question that I had for you is, what are you up to now? So you said you feel like you've brought your body into balance. The pain just kind of is not there for you anymore. What are you up to these days?
All I've done is just continued along the path that was charted for me by the FAI fix. My initial goal was to restore a very rudimentary range of movement in the muscles that pertain to hip function, quadriceps, adductors, hamstrings, etc. Well, I've achieved that, so why stop now? One of my main goals is to get to the splits, which I've always dreamed of.
Yeah.
Always dreamed of. And I'm, the difference between before the FAI fix and the methods that I've acquired from it, and now, is that before it was a dream, whereas now it's a goal. It's attainable.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take time, but I'll get there.
Do you have any kind of last words of advice for someone who either just found out that they had FAI or they're somewhere on the journey of having these bad hip problems? Do you have any kind of like your top 2 pieces of advice that you would give them if they're in a situation like you were?
I have a lot to say, but I'll try to keep it. I guess the first thing is, if you get an FAI diagnosis or if you think you have FAI, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop it. Right? I'm going to be harsh, but I'm going to be honest. If you have something like FAI, if you think it's FAI, or get the diagnosis, it means that your body's finally telling you it's had enough. Whatever you've been doing, it's not working. Right? So something has got to change. It's not just that you've got to tweak a little something here. Something serious has to change. This is the best time to turn things around and to open your mind to a new way of looking at what it is you're doing in physical training. And if you're not doing physical training, well, then that's telling you something else. So my first piece of advice is recognize that this is a great opportunity to transform your relationship with your body.
Amen.
And the second thing I'd say is, on the basis of that realization, make a serious change to your schedule. It starts with your schedule. Before you get to the exercises and before you get to the technical knowledge and before you get to anything else, it starts with your schedule. Just as you have to put aside time for a meal, just as you have to put aside time for other things that are important to your body needs wholesome physical training in the same way that it needs wholesome food. Exercise is to the body as nutrition is to the body. To me, exercise is a form of nutrition. Find yourself a space where you can actually listen to your body and give it what it needs. And the FAI Fix is a fantastic roadmap for that. Print out the booklet, read it 1,000 times over. Even if you know it back to front, look at it again, get inspiration from it, watch videos, listen to your body, and schedule.
Schedule the time, do the work consistently.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this conversation. We're going to continue our conversation because we're going to geek out on all kinds of flexibility stuff. And yeah, I just appreciate it. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
See you later.